Welcome to 30-Minute Reviews. I'm Adam.
And I'm Peter, coming to you live from
It's
Seattle,
not live. Not live.
the city that never sleeps.
Okay. I forgot to ask before we started. I have a question for you.
Okay.
So, have you ever noticed random okay, so you're approaching a stoplight. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, you're on a one-lane...
We should. I'm going to stop you right there. We need to
Okay.
put the story into context that Adam has just started driving again.
Yes,
And now he's like a full-time driver.
Yeah. So I'm noticing these things more now than I was before.
So you're approaching a stop sign.
A stoplight.
Stoplight.
Okay, it's a one-lane road up until the stoplight. But as you're approaching the stoplight, it splits into two lanes, both going straight. So there's now two lanes at the stoplight going straight, plus whatever turning lanes or whatever also at the light. So, okay. Then once you clear the intersection, the two lanes merge back into one.
I've seen that a few times, but most of the time no. But it makes it so there's not a lot of backup, like at the light.
I've just started calling them the asshole lane because anywhere I've seen them, it's not actually because there's any risk of a backup. In fact, places where there is risk of a backup, I don't see that. But
you never see a backup because there's two lanes.
Well, no, but it's always like two people at the light, and then it's like the entire thing's empty, and except for the one guy behind you who's like, "Hey, wait a minute, I can get in front of everyone." So he cuts around you just as the light turns green and speeds up ahead. Like,
that's
go fuck
to
yourself.
Speed first. You need to be more aggressive.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that I just wanted to know if that was something that was like isolated to this area of Long Island, or if that's a widespread thing, because it's becoming more and more apparent.
I think those types of intersections are more common in Long Island.
Yeah,
I don't really have them. The weird thing here is you'll be, especially in my neighborhood, it's older, and I don't think they expected the amount of influx of people that live here now. Where all the streets are like kind of narrow, but all the intersections, instead of having lights or stop signs, have like mini traffic circles where you just have to slow down, because if you don't slow down, you're just going to smash into a curb. But there's no like, no, they're like mini like really tiny like traffic circles. Like there's no actual lanes. It's just like a curb that's a circle in the middle of the road.
Oh, so it's not like three traffic circles in a row.
No. Like the width of the traffic circle is like the length of one car.
Oh, that's odd.
Like it's there's nothing else like it.
Huh.
But it does slow down traffic, so I guess that's good. But it's never like a lot of traffic where I live. It's just on the main roads, there's traffic. Like anyway.
Yeah, like the biggest thing I know is about the asshole lanes is like a lot of times like one time that's really annoying is they made one lane into an asshole lane, and it was up until very recently a strictly right turn only lane. So there was a right turn arrow. I don't like those because I get stuck in a lot. Because I'll see like an open lane, I'll be like, oh sweet, and then at the end it's like right turn only, then I have to cut off a bunch of people. Well, no, because the thing is that lane was strictly right turn only for a while because it's a major intersection, and what they did was they made it where you can also go straight. But there's still a working green turn arrow that stays green while the entire rest of while the forward is red. So if you get stuck behind someone if you get stuck behind someone going straight trying to cut off traffic, you end up you get stuck at the light. So just get rid of the green arrow then. Just get rid of it. Why do we have it there?
Well, thanks, Trump.
Yeah. Let's not get into that. We have plenty of other stuff to talk about. So
we have a different show that we can talk about that.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that Sunday because we have what's it called?
Yeah, it's been on hiatus.
Yeah, we've been on hiatus with that, and it's Super Bowl, so we can do our Super Bowl picks there. So today's theme is we had a theme last week too, I believe, where all the news stories seem to follow this theme. It was not learning from mistakes. This week, the theme is departures. And a big one that happened a few hours ago. Peter Capaldi announced that season 10 of the rebooted Doctor Who will be his last season.
Oh no!
And then he'll be back for the Christmas special, where he will leave, and that'll be his final episode. So I haven't watched the show since he took over.
That's what I've heard. A lot of people did not like him that much, or didn't like the show anymore.
Well, because the thing is, like, once Matt Smith took over in season 4, I think it was, it became a lot like fan fiction. Or 5. It felt like fan fiction come to life.
How many seasons has Peter Capaldi been on it?
He'll be done after 3.
Oh, okay.
So he will have done the same amount as David Tennant and Matt Smith. Both of whom were before him. Matt Smith had expressed a desire to return.
Because he can't do anything else.
Right, exactly. His brief time as the human embodiment of Skynet did not go over well in Terminator Genesis. And what else did he do? He did something else recently. Yeah, basically. He was in talks to play Newt Scamander, which, if you all recall, I called was going to happen when they announced the movie was happening. And then when they announced that he wasn't doing it, I was genuinely shocked because he was in talks to play the role. Now
he was in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Oh, good. Okay. And this is why we're back where we are, and he wants to be back on Doctor Who. There wouldn't be any historical precedent on the show for that to happen, and people are saying that the next Doctor should be Idris Elba.
I would support that.
Here's the thing, and I want to address also John Hurt passed away within the past week. It's fitting here because it's the role that Idris Elba should have had if you wanted him to be on Doctor Who, a one-off movie guy. Like, John Hurt played the Doctor in between 8 and 9 that fought in the war, that they talk about a lot as a distant event that happened before and up until the 50th anniversary. And then you actually see it in the 50th anniversary. And that's the kind of role that Idris Elba would want to play, because he's too big of an actor.
That's true. He probably wants to do other things.
Like, he played Nelson Mandela. He thought Thor was too silly. Like, when he came back from Age of Ultron after filming his scenes for where he was Heimdall again, he's like, this is really silly. I was just playing Nelson Mandela. What is this?
He was also on The Office.
He was great on The Office.
He kicks Meredith in the face with a soccer ball.
No. Does he? Oh,
yeah.
Yes, he does.
He tries to pass it to Jim, and then Jim ducks.
Yes.
And it hits Meredith in the face.
Yes, okay, yes, that is but yeah, that was yeah, he'd be good in the role, but personally I think it's gonna go to they want someone with longevity, I think. Especially a new guy coming in. I think it's gonna be, if you're gonna go with a big name,
Patrick Stewart.
No. I think you're gonna get Matthew Lewis.
I don't know who that is.
Neville from Harry Potter.
Oh.
Or if you're gonna go, considering the last time they announced that the Doctor was gonna be played by Peter Capaldi, there was a certain outcry about him being white, and a man. I could see them also going with one of the other kids from Harry Potter.
Ron Weasley.
No. Well, he made the cool thing about his actor is he made enough money. He's like, okay, I'm done. Like, I've gotten all I wanted to do. But I think he
was just in a movie recently.
Yeah, but he doesn't go out of his way to be in movies like Daniel Radcliffe.
We don't know. We don't know if he's like trying.
Because no one will cast him. He's forever the redheaded stepchild of Hollywood.
That could be it.
No, I think that the other one, who it could be from Harry Potter, if you go with any actor from there, it would be the girl who played Ginny.
Oh.
Who also hasn't been in too much. But like those are really the only two options if you're gonna go someone who's established. Personally, I think they're gonna go with where they went to get the new companion Bill. They're gonna go with some no-name West End actor who they can raise up. Because I think they should.
So they can hold on to him for a long time.
Yeah, like they should do what the CW did, when they cast major roles in Arrow and the Flash. Like you have a few big names there. Like you obviously have Jesse Martin on Arrow, who was on Law and Order and all that. But then like Grant Gustin was on Glee previously, and all of these are just like fresh out of college kids who have very limited TV experience, but you can kind of like raise like you can raise them basically, and be the actor you want them to be on the show.
Do you want to know a fun?
On what?
Her and Miles Teller were going to be the original couple for La La Land.
Oh, for Ginny?
No, Emma Watson.
Oh, okay.
But they were too demanding, so they got fired.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But we'll talk about La La Land later. The next departure is the one that I did not tell Peter what it is yet. So this one may hurt a little bit. I'm going to declare the movie that this departure happened for dead on arrival. The movie is The Batman. Ben Affleck has departed directing The Batman.
Oh no. That is sad.
Now, the reason why I'm saying the movie's dead on arrival, do you remember what Ben Affleck said would cause him to leave the movie?
You maybe just Google Dead on Arrival, because I thought that was the movie we're talking about, so that was a very confusing turn of events for me. But that does make me sad. Maybe it's because it's too intense, so he can't direct it anymore.
Well, Ben Affleck did say the reason why, the only thing that would happen that would make him not want to direct the movie is if the content of the movie was not up to his standards. Which, keep in mind what it was that made Batman. Right. But if studio intervention takes away from it, he doesn't want to be director. So I want everyone to take into consideration that awesome Batman fight from the end of Batman v Superman, where he fights the entire warehouse of people by himself and cuts a guy's dick off, and think Warner Brothers will not let that happen again. They
don't want him to do that?
They don't want... I don't know why he departed, but I feel like I
think it's because it's too intensive a role that he can't direct it while he's doing it or portraying the character.
I don't know. He didn't have an issue with it prior. Like it's not like something that he was like on the fence about to begin with. He did say, I would do this, but the problem is, he said the only thing that would make me back out is if studio intervention is too much. And we've already seen the Flash is getting a major rewrite, like a page 1 rewrite of the Flash movie. Because Fukuhara left, because the studio was intervening too much.
In his quote, he says that he can't do both jobs, but I'm assuming he wouldn't just be like, oh, the studio is being asked or being giant.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're still signing his paycheck.
Yeah, especially because he's gonna make a metric fuck ton of money from doing this.
He's gonna be there Robert Downey Jr.
His part of his contract is definitely he gets to make whatever movie he wants to.
That's how Live by Night happened.
And The Accountant.
Yes.
Which The Accountant I wanted to see, but apparently that was not that great.
No, that's what I heard too. But look,
same with Live by Night.
But look, I mean, if he's got the
same... if he wants to do it, go for it.
Exactly. If he got the same thing as Kevin Smith, where he's like, I don't care what anyone else thinks, I want to make these movies for me. Like, go ahead. Like, who am I to say otherwise? I mean, I'm going to say your movie's shit, but I'm not going to say don't make them anymore.
Yeah. Part of why The Accountant also got bad reviews is because he plays someone with autism, and people are like, he doesn't actually have autism.
It's like, yeah, it's called acting.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like he wasn't did it over the top.
Yeah, it's like he what's it called in the words of a great movie, Tropic Thunder. It's not like he went full retard. Yep. That's such a great movie, Tropic Thunder.
I do. I did just recently watch that. It was very good. Wow, Live by Night has a 32 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, not well received at all. So let's take a look at one last news story. We officially have a title for Star Wars Episode VIII. and it is Star Wars The Last Jedi. Now, there are a few things to note about this. Number one, on the title card that they announced, the Star Wars logo is in red.
Just like a lightsaber from the dark side.
Right, which is why my first thought was, oh, they're trying to show this to be a darker movie without, having a really dark title. But then I thought, after I saw it on IGN, there are 2 previous times that the red title card was used.
Wasn't the episode 5 the original one?
Nope.
Red? Oh, okay. Never mind.
The first one was in 2005 or 2006 with Revenge of the Sith. The announcement of Revenge of the Sith had the red title card. And Revenge of the Jedi, which is the original title of Return of the Jedi, also had the red title card. Now, both of these are significant because they both feature, in a way, the death of Anakin Skywalker. Because in Episode 6, obviously, is the physical death of Anakin Skywalker when he dies after saving Luke, and then there's also the metaphorical death of Anakin in Episode 3 when he stops being Anakin and turns to the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's been asking, well, who's going to be the Last Jedi? Are they referring to Luke as being the mentor who is the Last Jedi currently? Or are they referring to Rey because Luke's going to be killed off in this movie, is the theory. So that's the question, is what are they referring to as the Last Jedi? I think they're overlooking Anakin. Because Luke was never formally knighted a Jedi Knight. He kind of just bestowed himself that title. The Last Jedi is Anakin.
That is true.
And if we're going with the theory that the red outline of the Star Wars logo means something, then, and if you look at the Force Awakens concept art book, there's a lot of Force Ghost Anakin imagery in it. I have a feeling that we're going to get a Hayden Christensen cameo in this movie, or at the very least his voice. I think Anakin's the Last Jedi they're referring to. And the reason they're referring to it is because Kylo Ren is going to convert to the light side. That's my theory.
Do you want to know a fun thing that the director released?
Rian Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He released a song with the band The Mountain Goats, which is a pretty good band, called The Ultimate Jedi Who Wastes All the Other Jedi and Eats Their Bones.
So Anakin.
And it's literally about a Jedi that literally eats other Jedi, like cannibalizes them. And it is now officially canon to the Star Wars universe.
Huh. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but yeah, I'm not sure where this movie's going. Based on the title previously.
Also, Rian Johnson is in Rogue One.
Oh.
He's a Death Star technician.
Did you know he said he was very heavily influenced by the prequels?
Cool. Good for
I think
him.
that means more aesthetic-wise, not storytelling-wise. Because if it's storytelling-wise,
I love exposition.
He should be executed.
He didn't really direct that, much.
Who?
Rian Johnson.
No, he directed Godzilla.
Nope.
No, that was Gareth Edwards. And what did Rian Johnson
Looper.
do? Oh, that was it.
Looper. And The Brothers Bloom. And Brick.
Great. Also, 2 movies into production this week. Star Wars Anthology Han Solo officially entered production. Black Panther, as we said, previously had entered production. Also confirmed castmates Martin Freeman reprising his role as Everett Ross, and Andy Serkis is reprising his role as Ulysses Claw in the Black Panther movie. And also starting production this week is Avengers Infinity War, slated for a May 2018 release.
Oh, wow.
What's up?
That's coming up.
Yeah. But this May, we have a fun movie, too. We have Guardians of the Galaxy. So,
wow, that's also coming up.
Yep, that's actually this May.
So many movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's like good.
We have a good year this year for movies. Look at the March release. But yeah, it's gonna be a good. You want to do your Peter's picks while I bring up?
All right, Peter's picks this week. One of them is actually two of them are movies, and one of them is a different podcast. So I will sandwich the podcast in between the movies. The first movie is Nocturnal Animals, which came out last November, I believe.
Same month as your birthday.
Yeah, actually 3 days after my birthday. But I just saw it like last week. Mm-hmm. It's really good. I thought it was going to be like Gone Girl, because that's what it seemed from the trailer.
Yeah.
But it was way different than I thought. It's Amy Adams is this woman, and her ex-husband writes this book that he sends it to her and dedicated to her. Mm-hmm. And it's like getting published, so she reads it. And a lot of the movie is like her imagination of the book, like playing out, like with actual actors and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's very violent and very disturbing. And it's like Michael Shannon only exists as a character through this like book, and that's what he's getting nominated for an Oscar for.
That's where I've heard this movie. We're going to talk about it later with the Oscar.
Yes. Oh, perfect. It deserves it. The podcast I started listening to, and I've been binge listening to, basically, is called My Dad Wrote a Porno.
Nice.
And it is one of the funniest podcasts ever.
Behind ours, of course.
It's these three. Yes, exactly. Well, I just know. I don't need to listen to ours and know it's funny. I just know it is because exactly. It's just an experience. This one is about three British friends, and one of their fathers wrote he saw the success of 50 Shades of Grey and decided to write his own erotica novel, mm-hmm. and it's called the full title. It's called Belinda Blinked. But the full title is, hold on. It's like ridiculous what the full title is. All right. Belinda Blinked 1, a modern story of sex, erotica, and passion. Period. How the sexiest salesgirl in business earns her huge bonus by being the best at removing her high heels.
That sounds...
And he has a fake name called Rocky Flintstone.
Sorry about that. We're back. Considering I live in a third world hellhole. Oh wait, no. This is Long Island. In New York, and I don't understand. I don't understand how. Okay. At work, on a bi-weekly basis, the power will go out for a good, 20 minutes.
It's like in North Korea. They have, rolling power outages. They have to do brownouts to save, power to, consolidate it to other areas.
I don't understand. It's January. It's not like we're in July where it's like, oh, okay, that's fitting. Because, the heat isn't electric. It's all gas heat out here. So continue with the
okay. I'll read you. Here's the description of the book.
Okay.
Okay. Belinda Blumenthal gets exciting, solicited sex regularly. So regularly, in fact, she makes big bonuses from it. Based in London, UK, Belinda works for Steele's Pots and Pans as their worldwide sales director. Sexually supported by Giselle and Bella, her head office colleagues, Belinda always gets the order when it comes down to the bare facts. The client base is large, so Belinda has the whole world to fuck, and boy, does she get stuck into it. This is the first book.
This sounds made up.
Oh yeah, this is the first book in the Belinda Blinked series where she gets hired by Tony, her managing director. This is all one sentence I'm about to read. Okay, where she gets hired by Tony, her managing director, and then goes on to make some sales headway by bringing on board a large European customer, Peter Rouse, and makes initial inroads to the North American market through Jim Sterling. Period. Read about the sexual conquest these men make and how the mysterious Duchess makes Belinda alive to the sexual fantasies of the hot riding set through supple black riding boots, jumpers, and leather-handled whips. ...
Ooh, that sounds kinky.
It's amazing because a lot of the beginning of the book is just like very boring, monotonous like business stuff, and her literally just like working in an office. But then all of a sudden it was just like cut to her like taking her boobs out in like a restaurant, and then there's lines like he grabbed her cervix, which is
that sounds
not
painful.
Yeah, because you would have to like stick your hand like all the way up inside of someone to do that.
That does not sound pleasant.
And it's just like their reaction while they're reading it is so funny because it's just so ludicrous. And she also, a lot of times in the book, someone will say something, and it'll just be like, Belinda blinked. And it will say that. It says it like 30 different times in the book. And it's the guy's dad, too, so it's just like him responding to stuff like, my dad wrote this. Like, why is he writing this?
Well,
so,
he wanted to make money on
That is true. He has made a lot of money now because people are buying the book since the podcast is so popular. And it's only half an hour. They do a chapter per episode, so it's like a half an hour about per episode. So it's very good. And then my last thing I want to talk about is the movie The Lobster, which might be my favorite movie of 2016. Now that we already did all that, so good thing I watched it now. But it's really good. It's by the same. Do you remember that weird one of the weird movies I watched called Dogtooth?
If you describe it, I'll be able. If you tell me some of the weird imagery in this movie, I might be able to figure it out.
It was the one that was all in Greek, and it was. He just rolled his eye.
For reference, for those of you who don't know, when we were sophomores in college, Peter had to watch a series of. I don't know if he had to or if it was just.
No. This was. I did watch those. I had to watch that Weird Year the Pig documentary.
Right.
But no, this one was for pleasure because I do watch a lot of weird movies on YouTube. And
when I say weird independent movies, I mean the word independent doesn't begin to describe these movies because independent implies that it somehow got a theatrical release. These are videos people made on YouTube and then posted online. Like, you know what? Fuck it. Why not?
They're very good. Some of them are from like the 70s, so someone waited to put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're waiting for their medium.
Yeah. Eventually. It's like Ralph.
This one is
waiting for 3D television over there.
This one was a real movie, but it's all in Greek, and it was this guy raised his children in isolation, where like that's all they like didn't know anything but what their house was, and then he said they only could leave when their adult incisor fell out or their dog tooth.
Right.
So, but that's a very good dystopian movie. That's the same director but The Lobster is in English. Just let you.
Oh, okay, good. Makes me more likely to see it. If a movie needs subtitles, I don't watch it.
It's really good. And it's a very dark absurdist humor.
I do like dark absurdist humor.
And it's also a sci-fi movie. Because it's in the future. If you're not in a couple, like homosexual or heterosexual doesn't matter. Then you get arrested, and you have 45 days to find a partner, or else you get turned into an animal of your choosing.
Huh. That sounds odd, to say the least.
It is, but it's very good.
I might watch that. Is it on Netflix?
It's on Amazon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I'll probably watch that then. But yeah, so let's go on to this week's movie review of the week.
Almost as good as The Lobster and Nocturnal Animals is The Incredible Hulk.
Yes. Now, a lot of people have apprehension going into this movie, present company included.
I refused to watch this movie for like 5 years.
Yeah. And
4 years, I guess.
The movie itself isn't bad. It has its weak moments.
Okay. I will say the opening credits of this movie gave me cancer. I'm pretty sure.
Why? Because of all the Stark Industries stuff all over.
No, I couldn't even pay attention to that. Just how horrible
the shameless product placement.
That just like all the jumping around, him becoming the Hulk through the opening credit scene, and like attacking people. The horrible music in the background.
To be fair, I would have. I'd rather they do that than show me the Hulk's origin.
I'd rather see the Hulk origin because we never seen it in a movie.
Eric Bana, the TV show from the 70s.
The Eric Bana one, wasn't it like his dad like gave him Hulk powers or something?
I don't remember. I didn't watch it.
And then make Hulk dogs. I never seen that one either.
But the thing is, the Hulk origin is cliched hero origin.
I don't know.
Where it's like he tries to. And the thing is, too, it's a weird second movie considering how we later find out how bound it is to the origin of Captain America.
Because it's literally he was trying to create a new.
He was trying to recreate the Super Soldier project, and I don't remember. Do they reference Captain America in this movie? Like saying like that's the reason why he was just trying.
They don't say Captain America, but they say something about Super Soldier, or like they hint at it.
Because like in the next movie, they do pretty openly hint at Captain America. Because the next movie is Iron Man 2, and that's what's it called? Where he got the he has the shield prototype.
Mm-hmm.
And he
they do something like when he gives that guy that becomes Abomination the first round of like shots.
Yeah.
They say like, "Oh, we made this to like try to make a new soldier or something."
Right. Because that's what the Hulk is. The Hulk. The story of the Hulk is they're trying to recreate the super soldier serum that Captain America had, but Captain America was a combination of fluid and radiation. That's something they don't really remember. Is that it? Well, I mean, for whatever reason, no one can recreate it in 70 years. But
even though it seemed pretty easy in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. It was fluid and the radiation were the two things that were required to get to get Captain America's powers. So they're trying to straight radiation, and then it turns out that for whatever reason, the Hulk is created as a Mr. Hyde alternate persona to Bruce Banner.
The original Hulk from like the comics looks just like Frankenstein.
Yeah. Well, because he's supposed to be a misunderstood monster.
He's not that misunderstood. He's kind of an asshole.
No, I understand it.
Yeah.
Now this movie, the CG is not great.
No, that's what hurts it.
Like I said, this is not a movie you should have used second out of the gate. Like we said with Suicide Squad, this is too early for this movie. Not because of what it's trying to do, because what it's doing is pretty grounded. It also has the only non-canon post-credit scene.
Oh yeah, wait. Is the post-credit scene this one the not post-credit scene?
Yeah, it's the final scene in the movie is the post-credit scene where Tony Stark shows up and he's like, "Hey, I'm creating the Avengers."
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he talks to Ross and says, "Oh, I'm making the Avengers," and Ross is like, I can fuck that up pretty good." And then Civil War happens. Skipped a few things in the middle, but but yeah, like that's basically the character arc. And did you ever see the joke? It's like in Civil War, Ross goes, "Captain Rogers, do you know where the Hulk is?" And Steve doesn't say anything, and hits a little notebook, and he's like, "How to find out where the Hulk is?" Asks Steve Rogers, and just crosses it out.
Ha ha ha.
But no, it's this movie's underrated, but at the same time, I feel like it's not. It's weird. It's in a weird position because it's like the movie's not great, but it's better than both Thor movies.
I don't know if it's better than both. Thor movies.
I don't know. A lot of people hate Thor: The Dark World. I'm not entirely sure why.
I don't hate it. It's just not that great.
Right. It's like there's vitriol around the Thor movie, the Thor: The Dark World. The Thor franchise is definitely the weakest of the Avengers, but the this movie is better than those.
Yeah, I think Ed Norton does a good. I think the actors in this movie are like Ed Norton, Liv Tyler, and
Ty Burrell.
Oh yeah, Ty Burrell literally played the same character as he does in National Treasure 2.
Yes.
Like it's the exact same person and function.
Yeah, this is like I think that the thing with this movie that it did right was it spent a lot of time with us getting to know Banner as a person before shitting all over that.
That was a smart thing to do because I think that scene in the beginning of the movie, they knew that the Hulk was going to look bad, CGI version. So they were like, we should try to focus on this aspect, which was working. And the first Hulk battle it's very good because they hide the Hulk for most of it, and it was mostly practical effects of shit getting thrown around.
Right.
And it actually looked pretty good. And then
the Hulk in the University looked bad.
Yeah,
that's the worst looking fight. Hulk versus Abomination. Hulk versus Abomination doesn't look as bad.
I think it's dark, so it helps a little bit.
Right, it's the same. It's the same reason why. It's the same reason why the CG. We're really not good at this. It's the same reason why the CGI in Batman v Superman looks pretty good. Is because it's hidden in the dark. You can't point. It's like saying like the airport fight in Captain America is like, oh, you can see how bad the CG is. Well, yeah, because it's all in daylight. When you put it behind a blue filter, it's harder to see that it's bad.
Yeah, the university fight, it's just he's just like standing in an open, brightly lit field.
Right.
And also shitty because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it just seemed that General whatever Stryker, Thunder.
No, not Stryker is from X-Men. Ross, yeah.
Had just like a parking lot full of Jeeps or Hummers just waiting to like go because he's just like calling this and like 3 Hummers will just drive out of the woods and he's just like calling this and then more come out. It happens like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I think he does. He's actually pretty good in that movie. William Hurt.
He is good. I like you see more of his motivations of like what he wants to do, kind of.
Well, because the thing is, in the comics, oh no, not William. Thunderbolt Ross's whole thing is he created like the Suicide Squad of Marvel, the Thunderbolts, whereas like the Winter Soldier, the Abomination, and stuff like that, all team up under duress to kill something.
Also, Abomination's weird because he can talk and like has more conscious thought.
Yeah, and then I think
Abomination like the Hulk turns back into that guy.
No, he's stuck as the Abomination forever.
Okay, I guess that's a
fair
trade-off. Shitty trade-off.
He's
not that strong.
They almost featured the Abomination in what's it called? In Age of Ultron?
War?
No, Age of Ultron. They're gonna have instead of Hulkbuster versus a Hulk, I remember it was gonna be Hulk versus Abomination or Hulkbuster versus Abomination. Where it was gonna be they go to Antarctica first to release the Abomination and then bring him to South Africa. Who? Ultron and Quick-Ass and Scarlet Witch.
Is that where he is?
Yeah, he's in a prison in Antarctica. So he's still alive.
That would have been cooler. Because the CGI would have looked better, I guess.
Well, I don't know how if it would look better. It would have looked about the same. Abomination versus Hulkbuster. No, the hands down, the worst CG in any Marvel movie is the first Avengers. Go back and watch the first Avengers movie, and it has aged very poorly. Like, it's not good. Actually, Iron Man has some bad CG, too. But that was 2008 and low budget. That's
more forgivable than the Avengers.
Yeah, because the Avengers, you had, like, here's $250 million, give $70 million to Robert Downey Jr., and do whatever you want with the rest. Like, that was basically what happened.
Crazy that he got $70 million.
Well, he got $70 million for Civil War, not for the first Avengers movie.
No. I'm sure he got enough for The first.
Yeah, exactly. He made more than all of the other castmates of the main cast combined.
It kind of doesn't even make sense. Like, it's not like he was this. He only became a big name actor again because of like Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they should hold him more accountable and be like, you don't deserve this. We made you.
Well, because the thing is, too, you know how much Chris Evans got paid for the first Avengers movie?
$100,000.
$600,000.
That's sad.
It's like, on one hand, it's
I would
sad.
take it.
Yeah. I'm not picky, but
like if they wanted to give me $600,000, that I would be happy. Mm-hmm. But it's like for a movie star in a $250 million movie, you would expect, and like one of the main people in the movie that you already had a movie.
To be fair, for $600,000, do you think that's an adequate price to have to keep the physique that Chris Evans has?
I don't think so. He has to work a lot, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's a lot of working out to get to the shoulders to hip ratio that he's got. That's probably the gayest thing I've said in a long time
really think
on
about
the
it
show.
that much.
Probably the gayest thing I've said on the show.
You've been measuring his ratios.
I don't know. Is that gayer than when I said Pierce Brosnan was the third most attractive person in Mamma Mia? Or
no, that was definitely it. Because it just came out of nowhere. It just came out of nowhere too.
Well, the thing is too, it's not only am I saying that Pierce Brosnan is the third most attractive person in the movie, I'm also saying it's in a musical too, no less.
Not just a musical, but in Mamma Mia.
Yeah, exactly. The chick flick musical, because there are respectable musicals, and there's Mamma Mia.
I like Mamma Mia.
It's not that bad, but it you can't deny that it's like it's a chick flick. Now what else is there? Let's see. Liv Tyler got to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so she could be a joke in Age of Ultron. So that's good.
Well, wait, what was her joke in Age of Ultron, or what joke was she?
Do you remember what the code name for Hulkbuster was?
No.
Veronica.
Oh, that's. I'm happy I watched this movie now. I get it.
Because it's what's it called? Because he already had his Betty. Now he needs Veronica.
Haha.
Yeah. So.
Ha.
Yeah. I think the next Hulk movie will be pretty good though. That comes out in November. Planet Hulk. Oh no, I'm sorry. Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, you're so witty.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm Universal, I would have like every person in the legal department trying to comb over with a fine-tooth comb that contract they have with Marvel. Like, how can we possibly get money out of this? Because I feel like I'm getting screwed.
Like the weird, not even like third party, just like the fourth party in the superhero movie like production company race, where they just sit.
Well, no.
And they're just like, "Hello, you're making a Hulk movie."
Well, to be fair, they don't get any rights on. They don't get any distribution on the Avengers. It's only
if the movie is called The Hulk.
I guess it's only on Hulk solo movies. So this movie, The Incredible Hulk, was but they can't start the movie themselves. The movie has to be produced by an outside company, but they have the rights to distribute it.
No, they still get a lot of money from it.
And it's not first right to distribute it. It's not automatic. It's they have the right to watch the movie and decide if they want to distribute it. So
they could just make Marvel create like $100 million movie and then say no, thank you.
No. Okay, so let's say Marvel makes The Incredible Hulk 2.
Okay.
So they make the movie. They then have to bring it to Universal, and Universal will either say yes, we want to distribute it like a smart person, or no, we don't want to distribute it. Like
and then Marvel would just distribute it.
Right. If they said no, Marvel would distribute it, but who would do that? Like
Sony.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, Sony's handling distribution on the Spider-Man movies. Also coming out this year.
Direct to Blu-ray. They just we're gonna burn you down. We're gonna burn the house down with both of us inside. Or like the Spider-Man Homecoming exclusive to the PS4.
What's it called? There are a few other weird rights things. I think Blade is still at New Line.
Huh, that is really weird.
Which,
it's not like they're gonna jump on making a Blade movie.
Do you know who owns New Line?
Steven Spielberg.
Warner Brothers.
Oh wow.
No. Amblin is Steven Spielberg. Then Namor, the Submariner, is the really weird one in terms of rights. Because he's
That's a really old comic.
Right. He's Marvel's answer to Aquaman. He is a mutant. So his rights should be at Fox, right? No. Mm-hmm. His rights are at Universal.
Oh. How?
I guess what happened was in the 90s, Marvel was going bankrupt. So they started selling off their properties. So they sold Blade to New Line. They sold, what's it called? Fantastic Four and the X-Men to Fox. And Daredevil. And, like, the rest of the Marvel Knights.
But that's wait. It's just weird that Fox didn't get the Submariner or whatever. Because he first appeared with the
X-Men.
He was in the first Marvel comic. No, with the that was the first Marvel comic with the Human Torch fighting the Submariner.
Oh.
Ever, yeah.
Well, they sold off the Submariner separate to Regency, to Universal. Then Universal just never made a movie. So I think the rule is that they would get back the rights, that like the rights would revert in the same way all the rest of them. If you don't make a movie for X amount of time, like every 10 years they shit out a Fantastic Four movie, because they have to, otherwise they lose the rights.
You want to know another really weird comic history thing with Marvel?
Sure.
Just really quick. Groot was introduced in 1960.
Yes.
A year
before
the
tree person from
Fantastic Four.
Planet X, I think, or something like that. It was
Groot
in Tales of
almost
Suspense.
Everyone.
Tales
to Astonish.
That was it. He was the same thing that debuted Ant-Man. But the what's it called? So when the rights would have reverted, they don't know where the rights are now. Like people at Marvel are trying to figure out who has the rights. So
this is fun.
It's like, did it go back to Marvel, because Marvel signed the original contract, or does the contract with Fox supersede at this point?
Oh, because it's a mutant.
Because he's a mutant. So would the rights go to Fox?
I hope they have to argue it, and then just like in court screaming at each other. Like,
and they go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court just takes the case just to be like, we don't care at all.
They have to fight and like explain what a mutant is, and like have all this background information. And, like Kevin Smith gets called in as a character witness.
That sounds like a really, really dumb movie.
Kevin Smith will make it.
It's like his idea for Batman v Superman, the $60,000 version, where it's like Kramer versus Kramer, and it's just a courtroom drama.
Like my cousin Vinny.
Yeah. There was one other thing I wanted to bring up. I think the best story with all this rights stupidity is the story around what happened in like 2015, 2014 with
what?
Daredevil and the Fantastic Four.
I do not recall.
So what happened was the rights were close to reverting on Daredevil. It was 2014 because 2004 was when the first Daredevil movie came out. And you have 10 years to make a movie, otherwise the rights revert. And Marvel said to Fox, we'll let you keep Daredevil. You can have him. We just want back Fantastic Four. And I think you see where this is going.
Yeah.
Fox goes, no. You have fun with Daredevil. There's no way you can make Daredevil good. We'll keep the Fantastic Four. And then they cast Josh Trank to direct the Fantastic Four movie. And Marvel has an Emmy for Daredevil. I think they have an Emmy for Daredevil. Probably a Creative Arts Emmy for Daredevil.
Something. It's acclaimed.
Yeah, a critically acclaimed Daredevil, and then Fantastic 4%. A reputable 4%, in the words of the friend of Josh Trank, Matt Landis. I don't know, respectable 50%. I wonder what he would call 4%. He wouldn't say it's bad. He'd just be like, well. So back to Incredible Hulk. What would you rate this movie?
Out of 10?
Yeah, out of 10.
I think every week I ask out of 10, but I just like to make sure.
17.
Yeah. Give it a 5 out of 7.
Oh wait, we're not doing it. Oh wait, we're not doing it. What's it called? Out of 50? Oh, oops.
Uh, a 5.5.
So you still think it's the worst of the Marvel Studios movies?
Actually, no. Actually, maybe now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about how annoying Thor is sometimes, just how he talks, and and like all the jokes that just come from
the fake screaming, like the screaming British accent, because you can't do a talking British accent.
Yeah, so I do think it's better. I'll raise it up to a 6. It is better than the 2 Thor movies.
I'd give it a 6.5. Yeah, Ed Norton's good. Also, I gotta give it a 6.5 to a 7, only because this movie gave us the joke in Birdman about Ed Norton's character. You remember that joke?
What was the joke?
It was they're talking about the big actor they got, and Zach Galifianakis is telling them about it, and he's like, he's just off a big franchise movie, and then Michael Keaton goes, fired or quit? And Zach Galifianakis goes, we're not entirely sure. There's conflicting reports.
Oh, haha.
Because that is what happened. The rumor is they had to fire Ed Norton because his movie was not well received, and they already had Joss Whedon, who's got a big ego, who was working with Robert Downey Jr., who has an ego the size of a small moon. And they couldn't also have the ginormous ego of Edward Norton, because I think the budget would have just collapsed if that was the case. So they had to get rid of them. So yeah, so that's the movie review for this week. So let's do what's it called? Oscar picks, because the Oscar nominations came out.
Ooh, let me Google it also. What website are you using so we can go in somewhat similar order?
So I'm using Wikipedia.
Okay, cool. I can use the Oscars actual website.
Now I want to say something. So this year is that they had a lot of what's it called? There were a lot of movies starring Black people who were nominated, and like and people were actually complaining about this. It's only because we complained last year that they did this.
Are you serious? Oh my god.
Here's the thing. There were 9 nominees for Best Picture this year. 9. That's a lot for best. Well, no, not in recent memory. They've been increasing it to add more people in, but 9 is still a lot. All the other categories have 5. It is my honest opinion that if there were only 5 nominees, Fences and Moonlight still would have been nominated. They're that good.
I definitely think Moonlight. Fences I haven't heard that much about.
I think if it were 5, it would have been Fences, Moonlight, La La Land, Manchester by the Sea. And I think Arrival would have been the last one.
I really want to see Arrival because it's by Denis
Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve, not Inarritu.
Oh. I got the first name right.
Wow, they're all Hispanic, so they're similar? Wow. Hidden Figures, I don't think deserved a nomination. I think Hidden Figures is this year's, what's it called? This year's Straight Outta Compton. Which Straight Outta Compton was not that good of a movie, and it got where it did, and it got the screaming, why wasn't this nominated? Because it had a establishing shot of the Rodney King beating in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like, no context, nothing before it. It's literally an establishing shot. Like, that's just low.
Wait. Also, I think I should be able to take some credit for Ridge being nominated.
For what?
For Hacksaw Ridge being nominated. Why? I think I should get them credit. Remember months ago I said, do you think it's time that we forgive Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
And now his movie has been nominated for Best Picture, and he's been nominated for Best Director, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So,
if you
I
want to,
think Mel Gibson should come on the podcast so he can thank me. I can invite him on,
I think
or just
someone
invite me
added
out
some.
to
I
his
think someone added something that shouldn't be here
on the Wikipedia page.
on the Wikipedia page, because on their best actor, there's Casey Affleck, Andrew Garfield, Ryan Gosling, Viggo Mortensen, Denzel Washington, and J. Doggy Dog Gregory playing Fearless Delta Sig. I have a feeling that wasn't an actual nominee.
It is not. I'm on the Oscar website. That is not what it is.
But let's start out with Best Picture. We'll go in reverse order of how they do it on the actual thing. So the nominees are Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight.
Lion. Manchester by the Sea by Amazon Studios. We have a stake in Manchester by the Sea, I think, because we pay for Amazon.
That's true. That's what I'm looking forward to. Is it'll be on Amazon. I'll be able to watch it
very quickly. Amazon did this right. The bullshit that Netflix does.
Yeah, where they release it for a week in New York and that's it.
They release it for one day in one theater and then get mad when it doesn't get nominated for an Oscar.
It doesn't get the wide. I think it's gotta be widely released.
Yeah, I don't know. It has to be widely released, but it has to be at least in like 4 theaters.
I'd even go with 2, an LA and a New York premiere.
Yeah, they probably didn't do any press junket thing. Like,
right.
A big part of the Oscars is campaigning. Like, if you're Academy member and you get to vote, like you get like all this shit in the mail to vote for like the movies, and like if you get all this free shit, like and for the Grammy, Emmys it's even better. Like you get every show that's nominated, you'll get like the full season or series of.
It's like what's it called when Selma didn't get the nomination the year before. They're like, oh, why didn't Selma get nominated? Did you know that the production team of Selma did not put out for consideration screeners for the movie?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
so the Academy voters didn't know that they wanted to be considered for any Academy Awards. They're like, oh, well.
Yeah, and it also like wasn't that great, apparently.
No, it wasn't that great of a movie. Martin Luther King deserves better. But yeah, so of Best Picture, who do you think is going to win that?
It's hard for me because I literally have not seen any one of these movies.
Well, the thing is, like you said, it's a lot about campaigning.
I think it's top 2. I think it's between the top. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna do top 3. Top 3 are La La Land, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. I think it'll be definitely one of those 3. I think it's gonna be. It's gonna be Moonlight.
Okay, I'll put you down for Moon. I'm keeping track of this. That way we can be like, look how right we were. Idea. Moonlight. Here's. I
feel like Hell or High Water is like True Grit because both have Jeff Bridges.
Oh, I guess that's
nominated for Best
theory.
Picture. But True Grit was nominated the year like 30 movies were nominated for Best Picture. They were just like,
and the Coen Brothers directed.
Why not?
I think the Coen Brothers directing a movie gets you. Oh wait, no, it doesn't because they didn't get nominated this year.
That movie. I forgot about that movie.
Yeah.
Everyone did.
I'm also picking Moonlight. And let me tell you why. Because I have it down to the same 3 as you do. Either Moonlight, La La Land, or Manchester by the Sea. Manchester by the Sea is not going to win because of the controversy around Casey Affleck.
Oh yeah, because he sexually assaults people.
Because he had that issue that happened in the past. Now, I also don't think it'll be La La Land. Because, then this is the issue. It comes down to what do you think the Academy is going to root for more? La La Land is a love letter to the CinemaScope musicals of the 1950s and 60s. And
also, it's about entitled people that are complaining that they aren't successful, but they still have like pretty good careers.
Right.
So it's kind of annoying.
But Moonlight. Now, think about what happened to Meryl Streep at the Golden Globes a few weeks back, where she gave the anti-Trump speech, and Trump reacted, and everyone was on her side. What would be the best way for Hollywood to stick it to Trump? Give Best Picture to a movie about a gay black guy.
Or give Best Picture to that Trump parody mockumentary that they made on Netflix.
Okay, that could be it too. But I think it's gonna be Moonlight only for the politics of what's going on in the world right
I don't think that's it.
now. Well, no, the movie. I'm not saying the movie's not good. I'm saying that if we're going realistically based on not having seen most of these movies, that's what you got to go on. You know.
I just think that's more of an Oscar movie too, where these people are just regular. Even though they're actors, they're still people just voting. I think in their heads they're like, "Is this an Oscar movie or not?"
Right.
It's like I feel that's the reason Dances with Wolves beat Goodfellas, where people are voting. Where they're like, "Well, this feels more like an Oscar movie than Goodfellas."
Right. And that's why I don't think Arrival's gonna win Best Picture either. Like,
I really want to see Arrival still. I'm mad I have not seen that.
Now for Best Director, there's two that I've heard of here. Denis Villeneuve for Arrival. Mel Gibson.
I hope he wins. He needs that for redemption. I feel like because he didn't win for Prisoners or for Sicario.
Right. Mel Gibson for Hacksaw Ridge.
Or Mel Gibson.
Damien Chazelle for La La Land. Kenneth Lonergan for Manchester by the Sea. Barry Jenkins for Moonlight.
I can see this one going to La La Land. I have a pretty strong feeling Mel Gibson will not win this one.
Yeah, I think, again, going along with Trump, I don't think Mel Gibson's going to win because they don't want to do anything close to anyone who has had any controversy like that. That said, I think it's going to be Manchester by the Sea. Because it's the closest they can get to honoring the movie, which is still a tremendous movie.
Without giving it to Casey Affleck. Yeah. Have you seen the best thing that came out of the Meryl Streep speech at the Golden Globes? Was it was her giving her speech about tyrants and all that stuff. I actually didn't watch it. I just watched this one clip, and it was zooming in on Mel Gibson's face, and it was playing the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme. But they played it at a time. He was looking around at something, and he just looked like he was trying to avoid eye contact with everyone because his head was just swimming around. It was perfect.
And who did you say your pick was? Denis Villeneuve?
No, mine was the Damien Chazelle
for La La Land.
Yeah, for La La Land. I think they'll give it to them for that. It's all different and fun.
Now for Best Actor, we have. By the way, I have a question for you. If someone said to you in 2014, 2 years from now, the lead actor and lead actress from The Amazing Spider-Man 2 would both be nominated for Academy Awards in 2 years, would you believe them? Because let's be real. Neither of them are particularly good in that movie. Now for Best Actor, we have Casey Affleck for Manchester by the Sea, Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw Ridge, Ryan Gosling for La La Land, Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic, Denzel Washington for Fences, and J. Doggy Dog Gregory for DSD promo.
Can you click on his name? Is there
a link? There's a link, but it's red, so there's no actual Wikipedia page for him. Let me Google him. J. Doggy Dog Gregory.
I want Viggo Mortensen to win. He deserves it for Lord of the Rings.
There's no actual record of him existing on the internet.
Whoa.
When you search J. Doggy Dog Gregory, you get...
And he got nominated for...
When you search J. Doggy Dog Gregory, the first result is a book about the Cheetah Girls.
Like the Disney Channel movie?
Yeah, and if you put it in quotes so you just get results just about J. Doggy Dog Gregory, you get no results found. So it's not even showing up on the Wikipedia page that I'm actually on.
Whatever refresh, it will just go away.
Maybe I'm just
hallucinating. Witnessing history.
Maybe I'm just hallucinating out of tiredness, but it's not showing up anywhere on the internet. So, who do you think Viggo Mortensen?
Yeah.
again, like I said with my pick for best director, I think we're gonna get Andrew Garfield here for Hacksaw Ridge because they don't want to give Mel Gibson the time of day, but they don't want to. I see them giving it to Andrew Garfield. Yeah. Let's write that down. Yeah. Ridge and Captain Fantastic. So now we have Best Actress in a Leading Role. Isabel Huppert for Ellie, Ruth Negga for Loving, Natalie Portman for Jackie, Emma Stone for La La Land, and Meryl Streep for Florence Foster Jenkins.
I think it's gonna be Meryl Streep.
You going with Meryl Streep?
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Ruth Negga for Loving. That's that movie.
Interesting.
That's that movie with Nick Kroll as the anti-interracial marriage attorney.
Oh yeah, I forgot Nick Kroll was in that.
Like it's very for me. I want to see that movie, but it's gonna be very hard for me to take him seriously.
The first time I saw the commercial, I thought it was for like a fake Adult Swim movie.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
The lighting also looks fake too. It doesn't look like a real movie.
And then you had Florence Foster.
Do you know what Ellie is about?
No, what is it?
There's this woman that gets raped. In her home, and then she like plots her revenge on the person.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I'm reading it through real quick. I just read the first line. Looks very strange. I don't really know what's going on in this movie.
Best Supporting Actor. Mahershala Ali from Moonlight.
From House of Cards.
Jeff Bridges. Oh, no. We're omitting his most important screen credit today.
Okay, thank you.
The Hunger Games.
No.
Jeff Bridges from Hell or High Water. Lucas Hedges from Manchester by the Sea.
Does it show you pictures of like who they're playing?
Not on Wikipedia, they don't.
Like, I wish you were just hold on. You can keep reading. I'm gonna send you the link.
Dev Patel from Lion and Michael Shannon from Nocturnal Animals. So I'm gonna go with Mahershala Ali from Moonlight.
I'm gonna go with Michael Shannon because I saw that movie and he was really good. Go into the link and go down to actor in a supporting role.
What happened?
Go into the link I sent you and then go to actor in a supporting role, and you'll see that Jeff Bridges and Michael Shannon look like the exact same character.
Best Supporting Actress. We have Viola Davis for Fences, Naomi Harris for Moonlight, Nicole Kidman for Lion, Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures, and Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea.
Well, Octavia Spencer pulled it out of nowhere.
You think Octavia Spencer's gonna win?
No, I think Viola Davis is gonna win.
I don't, for one very important reason.
Did she get?
Do you remember last year we were talking about the Academy Awards, and we said that Miles? No, who was the one who was in a good? Oh, the reason why, what's his name didn't get nominated for Creed. Michael B. Jordan didn't get nominated for Creed was because he was in a bad movie earlier that year.
Oh yeah. Wait, what bad movie was Viola Davis in?
Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, she was really good in Suicide Squad though, so it's okay.
I don't know. I don't want to go back on what I do honestly believe if you're in a movie that they don't like previously, they're gonna hurt you that year for it. I do think Octavia Spencer's gonna win for Hidden Figures. not because I've seen Hidden Figures or I have any real thoughts about Hidden Figures. I just think that, yeah, I just think that's gonna happen. And who did you pick for Best Supporting Actress?
Viola Davis.
Viola.
And then you yelled at me.
I want to see Fences.
So many movies this year I want to see and I did not see. That was, Regal Cinemas is a really cool deal where you like buy a package thing.
You can see
and you
all
just,
the
like,
Best
go
Picture
over.
ones.
Yeah.
All right, Best Original Screenplay. I'm only bringing this one up because we talked about one of the movies previously. Hell or High Water, La La Land, Manchester by the Sea,
It's still going.
20th Century Woman, and The Lobster.
Lobster. 100%. I think it definitely should win original screenplay. Because it's awesome.
And then I think it should be.
I think it's the most original out of all those movies. Like, Hell or High Water is just basically just a ripoff of No Country for Old Men. La La Land, a dumb musical that rips off Xanadu. Manchester by the Sea, just like I don't know, whatever. Just a guy and a kid. 20th Century Woman. What even is that? Then you have The Lobster. What do you think?
And then there are Best Adapted Screenplay. I cut out.
Arrival based off a book.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Gonna read that.
Arrival, based on Story of Your Life. Fences, based on Fences, which would give a posthumous nomination for the author of Fences. Hidden Figures, based on Hidden Figures. Lion, based on A Long Way Home. And Moonlight, based on In Moonlight, Black Boys Look Blue.
They took out that subtitle. Same with I'm happy they changed the title of Arrival from Story of Your Life.
I think Fences is gonna win that.
Yeah, especially because Arrival is just a short story, not a.
Because the thing is,
also Hidden Figures
movies
is
based on plays tend to win that.
And Hidden Figures is just like a biography. It's not like
a
story. Come on.
So which one you're picking Fences too?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'll pick Fences.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to know a really weird? That just reminded me. No, August Osage County.
Yeah.
That's a play. It's the guy who wrote that play is in Seinfeld, and he's the guy that Elaine gives a fake number to, and then gets invited to Festivus.
Oh,
He's like a famous playwright.
That's a great episode. Best Animated Picture. We've actually talked about a few of these this year. Kubo and the Two Strings, Moana, My Life as a Courgette, The Red Turtle, and Zootopia.
I think that movie is called My Life as a Zucchini.
What?
That movie is called My Life as a Zucchini.
That's not what it says here.
Like, can you not read?
Wow, you mispronounced that.
I also like on the Oscar website it shows like the kind of like the box covers of each movie. And for My Life as a Zucchini, it says nothing short of a miracle.
Okay, so here's what it says. I went to the Wikipedia page for this movie. The reason why I saw My Life as a Courgette on there is because they literally translated the first three words in French to English, and then left Courgette, which should be literally translated to a zucchini, I guess.
Cool.
But I think Zootopia is gonna end up winning that.
I've watched the You're Welcome song from Moana probably like 10 times on YouTube.
I like that song.
But
you know what the thing with that song is?
I really like that song.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
It reminds me of the Hamilton musical.
No. Have you ever seen the Disney movie Aladdin?
Never heard of it.
Do you remember when he takes the genie out of the lamp and he has the whole thing of everything the genie does? It's just Moana's version of Friend Like Me.
No. It's a much better song.
That said, I still think Zootopia is gonna.
It does deal with,
race relations.
but I think the biggest problem with Zootopia is the whole point of the movie is like don't do stereotypes, but then all the problems are solved by each animal stereotype.
Yeah.
Because the fox is sneaky, and then he sneaks his way to like be a savior.
Which one do you think is gonna win? I also think Kubo and the Two
Okay.
Strings has a good chance because of the art style.
That did look cool. I saw the trailer for that like every time I
80
saw a
times.
movie this year. Yeah, I'm gonna do Kubo. Go for that one.
I still want to see. I might buy that.
Never mind. I go for Moana. I changed my mind.
Moana.
Yeah.
Moana does have good water.
Because I also like Moana because it reminds me of the Fleetwood Mac song Rihanna, and then I sing that in my head every time someone says Moana.
Now we don't have to talk about our picks for this because I don't think you've watched any actual documentaries, but I just wanted to bring something up. Here's my question.
I watch a lot of documentaries. They just don't get nominated for Oscars because they're made by people and they put them on YouTube.
Okay, so here's what I want you to consider for a minute. OJ Made in America is a 30 for 30 documentary on ESPN in 7 parts. Why is it nominated for best documentary feature length?
I was confused because that's what I thought it was, but then I was like, no, that can't be it because it got nominated for an Oscar and not a 7-hour movie.
But yeah, they got nominated for best documentary.
There's some fishy shit going on in the documentary category.
Yeah, so that's that. I'm gonna skip that. Let me let's see what we got next. Best original song. Did you listen to How Far I'll Go by Moana?
Nope. The only song I've heard from Moana is You're Welcome.
So La La Land has 2 nominations here: Audition, The Fools Who Dream, and City of Stars. Can't Stop This Feeling from Trolls, which is that Justin Timberlake's on the radio. The Empty Chair from Jim the Game Foley Story, and How Far I'll Go from Moana.
I hope Trolls wins, so then we can all say that Trolls won an Oscar.
I listened to City of Stars.
Was it
from
good?
La La Land. I did like that. Was a good song. It's a duet. By Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. Yeah.
Hail Caesar did get nominated for an Oscar.
It did, like set design or something like that.
Production design, yeah.
I think I didn't listen to Audition, but there was the song that you've seen the poster for what's it called, for La La Land, right? The two of them like tap dancing. Yeah. That song is a pretty good song. That one I think should have been nominated over the Audition, but I think City of Stars is gonna win. Or as I do, at least I really like that song. But
I want Moana to win because then Lin-Manuel Miranda will be closer to getting an EGOT.
So you're gonna say How Far I'll Go, and then I'll say
yeah.
I'll go. Okay.
But who will win for sound editing
Don't
or
care about
sound
that.
mixing?
Don't
Ooh,
care
the
about
Secret
that.
Soldiers in Benghazi
care
could
about
win for sound.
Okay, we just have 2 more categories. Cinematography. We can't really do because you can't really do cinematography because you haven't seen any of the movie. Let's go visual effects.
Cinematography. We haven't seen almost any of the movies we're talking about.
Well, no, but you can kind of guess. But cinematography means that you see the movie like literally to see the movie.
Short subject. Will
Best
Joe's
visual
violin
effects. How does that sound? Visual effects.
Okay, that's Star Wars nominated.
Here's my question. Also, how did 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi get nominated for best sound mixing in this year? Because I thought the movie came out in 2015.
I guess not, and I guess because it had explosions.
How does it make you feel that Michael Bay has another Oscar nomination?
So his sound mixer has an Oscar nominee.
So best visual effects: Deepwater Horizon, Doctor Strange, The Jungle Book, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Rogue One: A Star Wars Story.
I want Star Wars to win.
Personally, I'm not being like a jackass or anything. I honestly think Rogue One: A Star Wars Story should have been nominated for best cinematography.
I agree.
I don't know what it is about Star Wars. The cinematography is always consistently on point in Star Wars. The movie may be shit, the acting may be shit, the sound may be shit, but the cinematography is always some of the best cinematography I've ever seen in film. Like, I don't understand how that keeps happening. But visual effects, I do think Doctor Strange should win. Is what's it called? That whole sequence in what's it called? That whole sequence in the mirror dimension in New York when he's fighting Caliseus.
Mm-hmm.
That whole sequence was amazing. Like when they're running around the sides of buildings and stuff like that, because they're in the mirror dimension.
I think Star Wars is cooler. I think Kubo and the Two Strings.
It shouldn't have been nominated for best visual effects,
but it looks cool.
I think the thing with that was Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman and Civil War all put themselves into consideration for that, and they were like, "Is there anything else?" And they're like, "Well, this movie was animated, so I guess there's some visual effects there." And they're like, "Okay, we'll nominate that instead." It wasn't Ant-Man nominated last year.
I do not recall.
But yeah, so I think Doctor Strange is gonna win that. You think Rogue One?
Yeah, Rogue One, all the way.
Rogue One. Okay. But yeah, it's not like what's it called, that year where you had Interstellar, Mad Max Fury Road. What were the other ones that year? That was a strong year for visual effects. This year, not so much. I think The Jungle Book has a good chance of winning because of all the motion capture.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna come down to Rogue One, which had some of the best like Star Wars effects in a while. Doctor Strange, which had a lot of really cool like trippy effects, and The Jungle Book for all the motion capture. Deepwater Horizon just doesn't do anything new. So I think that's not really going to be considered seriously. So yeah. I think that brings us to the end of the episode. I have a splitting headache. It is morning. And
oh yeah, it is late for you.
And I am I have to go to the shower still. So, let me open up the list of what we're doing in the future. Anything you want to bring up while I bring this list up?
I'm like 3/4 of the way through Angels and Demons. It's pretty good.
The book?
I see why people liked it back in 2000. Yeah, the book.
I'm not watching the movie all the way through. I'm taking it in pieces.
Yeah, I'm watching it in parts. I watch it on my phone every day while I commute. That's what I read, but reading is different that way.
Yeah, so somehow we're behind. I don't know how that
that's like
happened.
a week. Are we like a week behind, or are we like far behind?
I think we're like a week behind. No, we're like 2 weeks behind. I don't know how that happened. Did I fuck something up somewhere?
Probably.
No, we did Roar. I don't remember. Okay, so here's what we'll do to consolidate this issue and make it a little bit better. We'll consolidate the next 2 weeks into one.
Oh god. We're doing Schindler's List and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in the same episode.
Pretty in Pink and Clueless.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. Those two can go together well.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been an interesting one. But we're gonna do that next week. Then we have on the 10th. We have the next beware of spoilers after our hiatus on that show.
Is that John Wick?
John Wick Chapter 2.
Cool.
So we're doing John Wick Chapter 1 on that week's episode. Then we have on Valentine's Day, for the Valentine's Day episode, we have Jerry Maguire. Before you ask who the fuck picked that was me.
Okay, I was wondering.
And then with the Valentine's Day theme, Josie selected Paranormal Activity, the entire series, for the 21st.
She did that for a couple of things.
And then we have the Wolverine, because we have... Oh, I never updated the title on here. Then we have Logan as our next movie. With, I hope they play her at some point in the actual movie.
I bet they're not.
I know. I can still dream, though. We have so many good movies coming up. We have Wolverine, we have Logan, we have Kong Skull Island.
Oh, yeah.
That's in March, too. We have... and
that's Kong. He's the king.
The other two movies in March I'm a little bit less excited for. They are Ghost in the Shell and what was the other one? The other one was stupid. Power Rangers.
Probably not going to see that.
Yeah, the next movie we're gonna see after Kong Skull Island is The Fate of the Furious.
I haven't seen any of the other ones.
Get ready to... I feel like that's going to be a very cringy movie.
Oh, well.
The title sounds like they're trying to be serious, but come on.
I think they all try to sound to be serious.
I don't know. Furious 7 doesn't sound... Oh, no, Deep. That's what I'm looking for. Deep. But yeah. The Fate of the Furious. Here's two we could consolidate into one episode. Guardians of the Galaxy and Caligula. Those two fit. No, Caligula and Schindler's List would be a mix match. That shouldn't happen. No, July should be a rough month for us. We have Spider-Man. We have War of the Planet of the Apes. We have Dunkirk. I think there's one other big movie coming in.
Oh yeah, Dunkirk.
Yeah, that movie's gonna be good. It's like my sister wants to see that movie.
That's kind of a Nolan, so I assume it's going to be good. I'm a Nolan fanatic. I'm a Nolan fanboy. I know it.
Yeah, so July we Valerian and the City of a Thousand Suns. I kind of want to see that. I have a feeling you don't want to see that. You know what's opening its War of the Planet of the Apes?
What?
Bad Dad.
I don't know what that is.
The spin-off of Bad Mom. Oh, do you know what the last thing is coming? That was that movie came out last year with what's it called?
Did that do well?
Yeah.
Oh.
The last movie is The Dark Tower. The Stephen King novel.
Oh.
Made into a movie.
I've wanted to read those.
Yeah, that movie comes out in July too. Opening against another great horror movie, An Inconvenient Sequel.
Yeah.
So on that note, let us end for tonight and be back next week with what other piece of shit we're reviewing next week. I don't even know at this point. I'm tired.
Just took a very big turn.
Oh shit! What did I even
like
say?
5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. You know what comes out this November allegedly?
What? My
Creed
birthday?
2.
Yeah.
Creed 2
What?
comes out this November. The
What
second
2?
Creed 2.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be lit by capital T. Pretty in Pink and Clueless. That was it.
Yes.
I have to buy both of those still. So yeah, we'll be back next week with that.
Clueless is on Netflix.
What?
Clueless is on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm still gonna buy it. You know how I am with having physical copies of movies.
Yes, you're paranoid.
It won't always be on Netflix, and one day they may take away online streaming. But you know what they can't take away? My pile of fucking movies. That's what they can't take away. I sound like a movie equivalent of like an NRA member.
You do. That would be like someone's platform is like keeping movies, and you're just gonna be there screaming about it.
Like, fuck you. So we'll be back with those next week.